Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today we have some new products in the corner that we're going to play with and take a look at. Some of them are just for fun. Some of them are useful tools that hopefully will make life easier while doing washi tape. And this one is is an interesting one. And we'll get to that shortly. The first things that we're going to look at, we're going to put this aside here and make sure I don't knock over my water. Let's move that over there. This one here, the first one we're going to look at, is a gift that was sent to me, um, which is going to hopefully make doing washi tape coloring a lot easier. It looks like a pen. It is not. It is actually a little tiny blade. So it will make doing washi tape really easy, well, a lot easier anyway, hopefully. But it will also make doing the little flicks for hair quite simple as well. So I have an entire set of these that was sent to me. There's all different pens in here. Some of them are different sizes. This one here is extended. They are retractable, so make sure that before you put them away, you retract them so that you don't stab yourself or cut yourself. They are quite sharp, and they do come in a multitude of colors and a pink. So there's 6 colors. I was thinking that they were all different blades, but some of them look different and some of them don't. So I'm not sure if they're all the same blade or not. Like this one here looks a lot thinner than the other ones. So I think there's a couple of thinner blades, a couple of thicker blades, and that sort of thing. The reason why I wanted them, and a friend of mine actually got them for me, was because using the X-Acto blade on the washi tape was a little cumbersome when doing tiny details. So this will make doing those tiny details a little bit easier. Like I said, you get several different ones. So I've got 6, 9, 10, 11, 14 different pens in here. Well, 14 pens. I can't say they're all different. They all came pre-assembled and everything else, so I can't say that they're all different blades. From what I saw, there are some that look a little bit smaller and some that look a little bit wider. But the whole purpose of them is to make that fussy cutting, that fiddly small fussy cutting, a little bit easier. It also comes with a little bag, a satchel for it to go in, but it also comes with this little ruler, that's the word, so that you can do those straight cuts a lot easier too. So yeah, that's the first thing that came into the corner this week. Like I said, this was a gift from a friend of mine off of Amazon. I will put the link in the um, below the video here, as well as on the community tab when I do the updated video links for this video. A great set of tools. Like I said, I have played with them a bit. They do cut really, really well. I had another set that she had purchased me that I am actually sending back. And the reason for that is the blade is just a little tiny blade at the front of the pen. And when you're using it, it actually comes loose and it wiggles, which could be dangerous, especially for me. Because, yeah, I will cut myself. So, yeah, thank you so much for this gift. I really do appreciate it, and I think it's going to make a lot of things a little bit easier for me. So that is the first thing that came into the corner. This is another thing that I bought, and I bought these just for fun. I did not expect them to color well or anything else, but they're so pretty and they smell so nice. I know it's ridiculous, but the barrel's coating, the covering on the barrel is infused with essential oils, so they actually smell when you're using them. This one here is watching clouds drift across the sky, and the on the back it tells you what's infused into it. So uh, wild mint and lavender is in this one. It doesn't smell all that much of the lavender. I can smell the mint on it, but they're not extremely strong. So if you are averse to having anything smelly, it's not extremely strong, so you're not going to be overwhelmed by it. This one here is called Dancing in the Midsummer Rain. Like, look at how pretty that is. It's just so pretty. And it's peppermint and rosemary. This one has more of a stronger scent, more of the rosemary, I think. And this one here is Springtime Brunch in the Garden. And it is pink grapefruit and gardenia. Let's actually color with these. Let's actually do a little bit of a swatch with them. I'm not going to put the names on or anything. I'm just going to see how they lay down with color. So let's start off with this one here, which is Watching Clouds Drift Across the Sky. Oh, they actually lay down color quite nicely. I'm going to zoom you in so you can see that a little bit better. Hold on. There we go. So I haven't sharpened these or anything. I have just opened them and smelled them. So they actually lay down color quite nicely. I apologize if I don't sound um, myself. I am not feeling very well. I think I ate something that really did not do my tummy well. And that's just a light layer, and it coated quite nicely. Let's give a little bit of pressure here and see what the final layer will look like. They squish down pretty good too. Like when you're pushing a little harder, sometimes you'll get this stuttery coloring, and I'm not getting that. So that one went down really nice. So the next one is Dancing in the Summer Rain. Now I would expect this to be a darker blue. Yeah. Again, just a light layer. Not putting a lot of pressure on the pencil. It's getting a pretty good coverage. I'm actually really kind of surprised. I was expecting them to be a little more um, crayon type waxy, less of a possible, kind of like a rose art type of thing because of the novelty of them. With some novelty pencils, the pencil themselves aren't all that great, but they're novelty items, so you get them anyway. Well, I do anyway. But these are actually laying down really quite well. And I'm pushing on it, giving it some pressure here. Get that dark area filled in. And then I'm going to go back over it again and see how much. See, even putting that heavy pressure on it, I can still add color. So that's actually really cool. I'm actually colored impressed here. This one is Springtime Brunch in the Garden, which is a pink. And I'm just putting these out the way that they are listed on the back. I have not put any effort into putting these into color order or anything like that. This is actually color covered. Really nice. Don't mind me, I'm actually a little shocked. I'm actually surprised on how well these are actually laying down. Putting some pressure on it. Didn't break. They're not crumbly or anything like that. This one here is a lush field of wildflowers, which is lavender and chamomile. So if you don't like lavender, this set is definitely not for you. There's a lot of lavender in here. I guess it's because it's made for relaxation, and lavender is one of those flowers that, or one of those scents that they say is relaxing. However, there are some people that are allergic to it or actually really, really don't like the smell of it. And it causes headaches and that sort of thing. So if you are one of those people that lavender has a adverse effect on, definitely not one of the pencils you want to have in your collection, because there is a lot of lavender. A lot of different ones that have lavender as the base. So that actually laid down really nice too. This one is, oh, let's see if I can get it out of the package. There we go. This one is Strolling Through the Orange Grove, and it's orange and honey. As you probably have guessed, it's going to be an orange color. Got something on my desk. I can feel it through the paper. That's just a very light layer. I've got something on my desk underneath it because I can feel it through the paper. Get rid of it. And then we're going to push a little bit harder. No crumbling, no stuttering, no wax, heavy wax color. These actually work really nice. I am really, really, really shocked. I'm sorry. Um, I shouldn't have been shocked, but like I said, they're a novelty item, and I was not expecting any sort of vibrancy or any sort of great color coming off of these. This one is Sipping Ice Cold Lemonade on a Hot Day, and of course it is lemon and lemongrass. So of course it's going to be our yellow. I will say some of these, the scent is a lot stronger than others. I can really smell this one. I can really smell the lemongrass in it. And I think the more you use them, the more your hands heat up um, that essential oil that's in the paper, which is kind of cool. All right, this one here is Pine Needles Blanketing the Forest Trail. and it is pine and patchouli. Again, if any of these scents are ones that give you headaches or make your coloring experience not so pleasant, um, definitely not a set for you. If you are strongly adverse to scents, you may want to avoid this because like I said, the some of the um, some of the pencils smell a little bit stronger than the others. I actually really like the smell of patchouli, so, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but it's so pretty. And again, it laid down quite nice. Even the light layer covered very well. And that's just like one coating, one coverage of the pencil on there. This one is Apple Trees Laden with Blossoms, and it is green apple and musk. There's only 10 pencils in this set, so it's not going to give you a lot of color variations, but it is definitely a set that can work well for those small pages. It gives you the basics as well as a couple of variations of the basics. So definitely not a set that you can that I'll overlook again. Um, but like I said, I did buy these specifically for the novelty of them. Um, and they were pretty. I was I was 100% not expecting these to actually color as well as they do, to be honest. Um, I was expecting them to, be like every other novelty item out there, the cheapest cores, that sort of thing, but with the prettiness. This one is Falling Leaves on a Crisp Autumn Day, which is berry and balsam, balsam, berries and balsam. Gives us a lovely red. And it's covering quite nicely. Like I said, I have not sharpened these. So this is straight out of the box. It is always preferable when you buy a new set of pencils and you're swatching them that you give them a good sharpen before you start swatching, because a lot of companies do put a bit of a residue on the pencil, exposed pencil itself, to protect the sharpened end. So it's always good to give it a good sharpen before you start using it. I do not, because I want to verify whether or not they're usable straight out of the box. A lot of them put out their with their advertising, um, ready to go, pre-sharpened already, and some of them are able to be used that way. Some of them are not. Oh, I didn't tell you this one is Damp Earth After a Rainstorm, and it is cypress and vetiver. I'm not quite sure what that smell is, but it's very woodsy. It almost smells like fallen leaves and dirt, like fallen trees and the soil underneath them, which I actually really enjoy the smell of. Like walking through a forest early in the morning when the dew is in the air and everything else, and you get all the earthy smells, is actually something I really find relaxing and comforting. So So I put down the light color. Now we're going to go through and put a little bit more pressure. So it's not a bad color lineup either. You get a good variation of colors. You don't have any black or white, but that's fine. But look at those colors. I think they did quite well for a novelty set. I am actually very, very surprised on how well these colored. And again, they're just pretty. And it's called Lifelines, Rub and Sniff Scented Pencils. It's 10 colored pencils infused with Lifeline's essential oil blends. And on the back here, of course, it gives you their information. So it says you can also, there's also a sensory journal that you can use these in, which is really kind of cool. Um, yeah, doesn't say anything about what the pencils are composed of, but it does give you a list of all of the different scents that are infused into the barrels of the pencils. So I think they did actually really quite well for a novelty item. So I'm actually really surprised with how well they did. So again, these are the Lifelines Rub and Sniff Scented Pencils. I bought them because they're a novelty. I bought them because they're cute and they are really, really pretty. I did not ever intend on using them because when you buy a novelty item, your first expectation of them is not that they're going to work, but that they're going to be pretty. These actually work. I'm really, really shocked, people. But they do actually work, and they do actually work quite well. So I may actually use these on a page at some point. So the next thing that I bought, and we're going to do a quick swatch of these as well. Um, I had a coupon. Of course I did. I had a coupon for retractable glitter gel pens. And they are absolutely beautiful. They're so pretty, and they have different words on them, like this one is youth. It has the color name on it. They're done by Hanku, and we'll do a quick swatch of these as well. Some of them I have tested the colors on and opened, but they lay down very, very nicely. They seem to be quite juicy. They are a thinner nib, but the barrel itself is actually really thick. So the amount of ink that comes in each pen is quite phenomenal. I should have printed these a little bit smaller. Doing large areas with gel pens has never been my strong suit, but there's the pink. I don't know if you can see the glitter in it. We'll go this way too. See if we can get that glitter a little bit darker. They dry very quickly, so you're not going to rub your hand through it. They don't come pouring out of the end. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit of glitter showing here. I can see the glitter, but it's really, really, really fine. Oh, there we go. There we go. So quite glittery, very fine, and they're retractable. So I'm going to show you the barrel. So as you can see, it's actually a really, really thick barrel of ink. I was really quite surprised on how thick the barrel was and how much ink comes in each pen. I did have a coupon for these. The coupon is no longer available, but if you purchase these with the coupon, they were quite budget friendly. I don't know how much they are without the coupon. They also have a clip here that's actually a spring clip, so you don't have to actually pull it open. You can just press this up. So there is the pink. So that's light pink. This one here is pink. Oh, and all of them come with a little cap on the end protecting the ink from flowing out on the end. Now I did not have to get this started or anything. I just popped that little thing off and put it to the paper, and it has flown just very nicely. Again, this one is pink. Covering large areas is a little streaky, but that may just be me as well. I do not cover large areas with gel pens very well. I use them for embellishments and that sort of thing. And again, really, really very sparkly. Very, very fine sparkles. So it's not chunky sparkles. It's actually a very nice, subtle glitter. This one here is hot pink. And of course, you know I've already tried this one. And this one, it flows a little bit better. And I think it's just because the darker ink doesn't show as many flaws as the lighter ink. And as you can see, I'm using them on the normal way you would use a ballpoint pen. I'm not having to use them in any other way, and they're just flowing just fine. Some gel pens, you have to use them up and down to get the full experience of them or the full coverage of them. This one didn't have to do that. And as you can see, just so much sparkle and a beautiful color as well. I love the fact that they're retractable. This one here is salmon. Oh, let's take the little red cappy thingy off. Now I'm really hoping that tones down as it dries, because that is a very red salmon color. I guess it's definitely a salmon color, isn't it? It's not a pink salmon, it's more of a red salmon, or salmon, however you want to say it. Very red, very red. Glad I checked that one because I would have assumed it was a pink, and that's actually quite red. This one here is orange. Definitely orange. Definitely orange. And like I said, they've got cute little names on them. Like this one's got little falling leaves all over it, and it says fall. It has nothing to do with the color per se, but I just think they're pretty. Again, another one of those things that I bought because I thought it was pretty. And the novelty of it. I have not seen very many gel pens that are colored beyond red, blue, and black that have the retractable um, nib as well as this has got that silicone cushion as well, which is great for coloring and that sort of thing. Again, this one here has the thing on it. This one is leaf color. And I'm trying to do this fairly quickly. But going both directions, I'm getting a good coverage. So if you find that you're not getting really good coverage, go front ways and then the other way as well. And it sort of fills in the lines that you've created. Oh, it does mine anyway. I'm really bad with gel pens though, so no, don't ask me to color with gel pens. I'm not great with it. But it's so pretty. So very sparkly. I'm actually really enjoying the sparkle of these. It's not that silver, bright silver sparkle. It's just a very light hint of sparkle. This one here is green. It's called Float. It's a darker green, definitely more of a blue green than the previous one, which is more of a yellow green. I like the way these feel in the hand. They're a little bit bigger than those um, regular gel pens that you get in the cases. Okay, gonna go the other way. Unfortunately, there's only 16 colors in this. I like a lot of colors in my gel pens, the same as I do my pencils. I like a lot of selection, especially glittery. The more colors I can get that sparkle, the better. Just saying. All right, so this one here is um, turquoise. It's called Fresh. Again, little red cap on the end, protecting the nib. And it's definitely a turquoise. And I am getting good coverage. Like I said, I am not the best for covering large areas with gel pens. So don't take the way that I'm doing this as any indication on how well they're flowing or that sort of thing. They're actually flowing quite nicely. Like if I slow down and actually just try to fill it, it actually flows really well. I'm just going a little quick because of the video. And I want to show you all the colors and still get to the last thing that came in that is a little interesting. All right. It's actually a really pretty turquoise blue. And then this one here is sky blue. So this is going to be a lighter blue. Very pretty. Now, again, I personally would not color large areas with gel pens, so my technique on this is not the best. I am quite sure that there is a technique out there that will make this pretty. I am not good with that. I know a lot of people color with gel pens and actually color beautiful full images with gel pens, and it's like, I don't know how you do it. I always end up with streaky, messy areas. But I get fussy too, so. So that one was sky blue. So that's a nice light bright blue. This one is blue, just straight blue. And it's going to be even lighter. Again, the nib on this is fairly thin. We'll get into that in a minute here. There's 16 pens in the set, which is a good selection of colors for a glitter set of gel pens. If you have been watching my coupons, you would have saw them come up on the coupons last week. They have since expired, but I will put the link below the video as well as on my community page with all of the project links for the videos as they go through. So this is called Blue, and it's got sunny and little blue flowers, which is awesome. This one is a medium purple. Again, coverage is really good. And I'm just doing this very, very quickly. I'm not spending a lot of time putting it down. Like if I took a little more time to fill this in, it would fill in a lot nicer. I'm just going to go the opposite direction here, which will help fill in those edges. Like I said, these do dry quite quickly. I did do an experiment last night with them, trying to smudge them with a tool, and by the time I got the tool out after laying down the color had already dried. So you might not have as much movement. Like for example, this is pretty much dry. You're going to get a bit of the glitter on your hands, but otherwise the color itself is not going to smudge around too much. This one is violet. I got more of the glitter on my hand than the color. We'll also take a look at the back of the paper. This is a Neenah cardstock. So if it goes through this, it is definitely going to go through your coloring book pages. Some gel pens don't, but some gel pens do. So we'll take a look and see if this is one of the ones that does. I'm being impatient with it, so. Sometimes with gel pens you gotta be patient, and I'm not one with patience. Sometimes. especially doing large areas. That's a really pretty color. So far the color arrangement of these is really, really, really pretty. We've also got this one here, which is coffee. A nice brown. Again, I'm just being impatient with it. I've got to be a little more patient. Trying to cover large areas very quickly, and it's not necessary. I just need to relax and let it just flow. It'll make it a lot prettier. And this is why I don't color well with watercolor pencils or watercolor pens, I should say, because I'm impatient. I try to do things too quickly sometimes. I'm also worried about it, drying too quickly or, you know, giving me streaks or that sort of thing. So my brain says, well, if you do it quickly, it won't do that. Which is not true sometimes, just saying. All right, so there is coffee. This one is gold. And it's a lovely yellow gold. It's actually a pretty gold. Some gold gel pens have a lot of green in them. Some gold gel pens have a lot of brown in them. So they just don't look that bright, shiny gold kind of color. This one has that yellow undertone to it, which makes it look really golden. New gold, bright gold color. Very, very nice. And works well for yellow too. And sparkly. Lots of sparklies. And then we have silver. Oh, it's a nice silver too. Some silvers have too much black undertone to them, so they're not that bright silvery kind of color. And sometimes you want that black undertone, especially if you're doing a lot of shadowed areas on it. And I do use black with my silver colored pencils just to give it that shadow. But sometimes they put too much and then it's just more of a pewter instead of a silver. Okay, I'm gonna go this way. And we're just filling in the gaps here, making it a solid color. And then the final one is black. And I know this video is going to be quite a bit longer because I've been fiddling with stuff. Um, but I do have a couple of things that I want to go over with you on the next item. We're not going to do a full review of the item because I've already done reviews of the item, but they have a couple of interesting changes to them. And it's a good black. It's not got too much of that. Sometimes with black glitter pens, you see a lot of the silver because of the glitter, and you're not getting a lot of that with this black. So I'm actually liking that. Definitely glittery. Lots and lots of glitter. The color did not go through the page, so that's a good thing. So it may not go through your coloring book pages. Of course, test it out first before you do that. Um, Otherwise, a very lovely set of really pretty retractable gel pens. Um, there's not a lot of information on the package. They are, of course, made in China. They are a Hanku product. They come in 16 colors. And yeah. Oh, they are a 0.7 millimeter nib. So they're in between a 6 and a 1. So um, 6 is the smallest. 5 or 6 is the smallest that I usually use. So it's a little bit bigger than the smallest I use. So that explains a lot of the laydown and how much it took to fill in the square. But yeah, a lovely, lovely set of gel pens that are, again, very pretty. I bought them because A, I had a coupon, so I had 50% off, and B, the barrels of them really, really attracted me. So because they're just pretty, they're not a set of retractable ones, which I don't have. I don't have any retractable ones. And they clip on very nicely, so they've got that press clip. They have the silicone guard, slip guard, and the barrels of them are just really pretty and very playful. So I really enjoy that. So that is the Hanku gel pens. They are again a 0.7 millimeter core. They are retractable. They don't smudge very much, like almost not at all. Like I said, I did an experiment last night, and by the time I could get my smudge tool out, it had already dried and moved on with life. So they don't smudge under your hand, which is great for me because I'm always smudging things. Really, really nice set of pencil of gel pens. That's the word. Now I'm going to zoom you back out, so hold on to your pants. There we go. The Brutfuner 120 square colored pencils. We all love them. We all have loved them for a very long time. Um, they have always been in Asian writing, so a lot of people, including myself, have done charts translating them. Well, at some point recently, I'm not quite sure if it was this year or last year. I think it was last year. Um, yeah, 23. They changed the Brutfuner squares. And they didn't change how they color. They didn't change the cores or anything like that. They did create English names for them. They are still square, but now they have an English name on them. So this one's called Autumn Glory. Now, the one thing that I was concerned about when I found out that they had changed the names is, have they changed the numbers? So this is They haven't changed the quality. I have gone through and I have swatched these. The core is the same size, the pencil is the same size. The quality is still there. However, they do have a couple of different names that are duplicated. It does come with a name chart as well as a swatch chart for you to swatch your pencils on. I rarely ever use those. If I do use them, it is to sort the pencils so that I can put them on my own swatch chart. But there is a couple in here that are poorly spelled, as well as quite a few in here that um, are well, there's a couple in here that are duplicated and many that are poorly spelled. So for example, what I would say would be Autumn Glory. It says Autuwn, Autuwn, Glory. So you can definitely tell that this was not somebody that's fluent in English that created these names. Um, or at least they created them very quickly and in their haste of typing spelled things wrong and the proofreader didn't catch them. Like this one here, deep lavender. I expect that to be lavender, but I may be wrong. It may be spelled correctly for what they wanted it to be called. Um, there's a couple of them that are just like there's a green. Where is it? It's actually spelled Gween, Gwwn. Yeah, I can't see it. But there's a lot of misspellings um, in the set, as well as a couple of duplicated names in the set. So if you're looking for Blue Lagoon, you need to look either in the greens or the blues because there's a blue green as well as a green blue with the same name. So this is the original lineup of the colored pencils. This is the new set, so the English version on the original version swatch chart. So I matched them number for number on the original swatch chart. And as you can see, there is many in here that are not in their right positioning. So for example, number 84 and 84. So 84 in the new ones is a red tone. In the old ones is a blue tone. Um, this one here, number 111, is a very nice pink in the old ones, and it's a yellow cream tone in the new ones. This one here is purple when it should be green. So that's number 75 is purple when it should when in the old ones it's green. So if I'm using number 75 and you have a new set of pencils, I would suggest that you use number 82. Number 75 is not one that you'd want to use for a leaf. Well, you could. Actually, you could. Actually, I have used that kind of purple in leaves before. The same with number 81. 81 is a very deep red instead of a bright green. So if you're trying for a bright green with number 81, I would suggest you use number 44. No, number 42. They seem to have moved some colors around. This one here is a deep purple, and it should be a tanny brown color. and they don't seem to have replaced those colors that they've eliminated with a likeness. So this here is the chart after I went through and cleaned it up. It still has a good selection of yellows, oranges, peaches, and reds. However, I do find it has more cream tones compared to the previous edition. The ones with the Asian writing on them have less cream tones than the new edition. It also has less skin tones, or peach tones, I should say, than the new ones. The old ones have less than the new ones, so they've got more of the peachy tones. They have about the same amount in the orange tones. Now the reds really made out like a bandit in the new setup. So there's a lot of red in both sets. However, there's a little bit more in those purpley reds, in those deep reds in the new set than there is in the older set. The pinks, so these two here I have actually moved over here. So those two ignore. Um, so the pinks look about the same. I have moved things around a little bit in the lineup because I did put this at the start of the pinks instead of at the end of them. Let's see, is there anything number-wise that's changed in the pinks? So there's 16 to 16, 120 to 120, 61 to 61. So pretty much in the pinks other than 111, which is a apricot kind of tone. Um, I think pretty much all the pinks are about the same. And there are many of them that are the exact same number, exact same color. So it's not like you're getting a completely different set. It's just there are a few different colors that the numbers have changed on. And that's why I created or why I colored on the previous one's chart, just so that I could see what colors may have changed. Um, Down here we have a little bit more purple than we do up here. There's not a huge amount of purple in this older set, where in the newer set it seems to have a little bit more. So we've got 110 is a different color. Well, I guess it's about the same. 14 is about the same. 53. 75 is a new purple. So that one used to be, I do believe, a green. Yeah, a green. But now it's a purple. 112 is the same color. 99 is the same color. 63 is the same color. 15 and 19 are also the same colors. So there's a couple of new purples in there, but not anything major. Um, Otherwise, other than the few that have changed number, um, the others all seem to have the same number. So, for example, all these ones up here all have the same numbers as their predecessors. This one here has got a different number. This one here has a different number um, than what they were before. These were both in the pinks. This one here has a different number, a different placement. This is used to be blue in the original ones, is now a red tone. These ones are all the same. This red and this purple are different. This purple is different. But all the rest of them that are in there are all the same color, same number. Definitely not the same name, but the same color, same number. So for example, this line up here is going to be almost identically matched to this line up here. The one difference is this one here is not going to be in the browns because it is now a purple. But we've still got the fried chicken color, which is now called bone brown, as well as the rest of the browns are still in their placement. Now I did move 119. Let's see, is 119 one of the ones that was changed? Yes, so 119 did change color to a darker brown instead of this lighter brown, which I kind of really don't like, but that's the one thing that they did change in the browns. The grays are pretty much the same, and of course silver and gold are the same. So the English names are very Americanized. They were created obviously for the American market. They're definitely not as fun as the conversion from the Asian writing to the translation from Asian to English. So we have white, vanilla custard, anise flower, snapdragon, caladine, lime green, empire yellow, dandelion, citrus, apricot wash, nude, coral sands, mock orange, autumn glory, orange popsicle, puffin's bill, nasturtium, radiant yellow, high risk red, a flame scarlet, cayenne, tomato puree, barberry, lipstick red, scarlet sage, Viking red, deep claret, Tibetan red, red plum, beet red, and cyclamen, as well as berry conserve. Tongue does not like that word. Super pink, Persian red, carmine rose, confetti, rose of Sharon, crystal rose, apricot blush, peach skin, grape shake, iris orchid, phlox, blue flower, deep lavender, it should say lavender, but it does not, passion flower, bougainvillea, sheer lilac, grape crush, petunia, heliotrope, sky blue, Malibu blue, azure blue, dictionary blue, Turkish sea, deep blue, sloe aster, deep lagoon, clematis blue, nautical blue. Um, I do believe this is supposed to be medieval blue, but it's yeah. Uh, this one here it should be magical blue or magical blue. River blue, bluebird, blue jay, mosaic blue. And now I do believe thought we had one of those. No, it was Malibu. Deep lagoon. So we've got deep lagoon and deep lagoon here. So this one is a deep lagoon in the blue. This one is a deep lagoon in the green. Harbor blue, Acadia, mint leaf, Aruba blue, green ash, pastel green. So these are all those aquatic green blue colors. Then we start into the green greens, which is canary yellow. Now, typically I would put canary yellow in with the yellows. However, this one has a lime peel kind of color to it. Sharp green, macaw, oh, there we go. Macaw, I assume it means green, but it's spelled GRWWN. Uh, jasmine green, summer green, Arcadia, Black Forest, um, Piquant green, Viridian green, Deep Sea, Evergreen, Botanical green, Sycamore, Kombu green, Chive, Golden lime, Bone brown, Thai curry, brandied melon, raw sienna, koi, um, autumnal, cognac, brandy brown, mink, shaved chocolate, sepia, dark mahogany, chicory coffee, seal brown, hay, silver gray, sphinx, ginger snap, bagaya black, Be- no, belgaia block, mirage gray, slate, vintage khaki, morning dove, cloudburst, brushed nickel, forged iron, black beauty, metallic silver, and earth tone gold. So they do have a couple of the Asian names slipping in there, but they have tried very hard to Americanize the color names. They haven't done great on the spelling, which is fine. Um, it's a little annoying, but I can get over that. They have moved some of the colors and shortened some of the color. Um, like, for example, the reds became a little bit longer. The greens became a little bit shorter. So instead of this and this for greens, you've got this for greens, which is not a bad thing. We have a lot of sets that are extremely green and blue heavy, where they have shrunk that down a little bit. The blues have shrunk down a little bit in the new set as well. So we've got here to here instead of from here all the way to here, that sort of thing. All right, so my first impressions of the changes in the Brutfuner squares is the core pencils themselves have not changed at all. Their makeup, their composition, all that fun stuff is all the same. The only differences are the color names have been changed to a American Standard or Americanized English name. Um, there are spelling errors. There is a couple of duplicate colors and that sort of thing. There is some changes in the lineup of the set. So we are changing up a blue and a green for reds, a light medium brown to a dark brown, and a green into a purple. So remember that if you are coloring with a new set and somebody says 111, you're going to grab this one here, which is a light uh, creamy peach color instead of a bright pink that it would be in the old set. I don't like the fact that they have downsized the pinks in this set because I didn't feel there was enough pinks in the first place, and they've downsized it a little bit just by two colors, but still those two colors are quite important, like this one here and this one here. Yes, they're very close to other colors in the set. However, there is just a slight bit of difference, and that difference when you have a small amount of a color in the set, that difference makes a lot of difference, if that makes sense at all. All right, so that is it. The Brutfuners have changed their names, have changed some of their lineup of numbers. So something that used to be blue is now red. Something that used to be pink is now a purple or a um, light creamy tone. That sort of thing. So be careful of that when you're following along with somebody that is using Brutfuner squares. If you have purchased your Brutfuner squares and they have the English names on them in the past year and a half. From what I understand, the ones that you bought in 2022, that still had the Asian writing on it and the number, the swatch chart that had the English names. I don't have those, so I cannot tell you if those are the same as the ones that are renamed in English on the pencil. I don't know. If you have a swatch chart of that era, where in 2022 that they started providing an English translation to the Asian names on the pencils, um, shoot me an email with that swatch chart, and I'll verify whether or not that swatch chart is something that we need to address as well when we're coloring with the original Brutfuners. Now, I may forget. I may not say, okay, I'm coloring with number 81, which is this lovely green, and you're going to end up coloring with a dark red. So be aware that I will be coloring with an older set of Brutfuners. Most people in the coloring community, in the YouTube coloring community, um, are coloring with the older version that has the Asian writing on them. Because when we purchase them, and a lot of us do this because we're crazy. Um, we have full set syndrome, and with a set that we know we can't buy open stock for, we have a tendency to buy a backup set. So if a adult colorist on YouTube is using the Brutfuner square pencils and tells you that they are in the Asian setup, those pencils are not going to match your pencils if you're using ones that are brand new with the English names on them. So be aware of that. Be aware that you may end up coloring something red when they're coloring something green. So keep an eye on what they're using. Don't just follow by sound, especially with the Brutfuner squares. Now, I am going to publish all three of these together so that you can um, purchase the original as well as the new um, swatch charts. Like I said, if you have the new ones, what I would suggest is swatching them on the original ones as well as your regular swatch chart. So for your own swatch itself, swatch on the English swatch chart for your swatch chart for your set. But just as a backup, take the Chinese edition from 2020 and swatch on there as well. That will give you this chart, which tells you what pencils have changed and where they've changed. All right, so yeah, that is the interesting news of the Brutfuner 120 square colored pencils. Again, like I said, their quality has not changed, their composition has not changed. They are still square, they are still a lovely pencil to use. However, there has been a couple of changes in the color lineup um, that you need to pay attention to. The names, of course, have changed because they're no longer in the Asian names. They are Americanized. There are some spelling errors and there are some duplications in names. So keep an eye on that as well. All right, guys, with that, I would like to say thank you all very much for watching. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. I will list all of the wonderful things that I have purchased in the past little bit here. So there are the Brutfuner squared colored pencils in the English conversion. We also have our wonderful glitter gel pens with the retractable nibs, which are Fantastic. They are so sparkly. I'm actually really enjoying how sparkly they are. They're so glittery. Ah, and then we have our surprise because I quite honestly did not expect these pencils to actually color and cover as nicely as they do. This is the Lifelines Rub and Sniff scented pencils. I saw somebody had purchased these and I just thought they were the coolest thing, and they're so pretty. So I bought them as a novelty item, but they actually do color quite nicely on the Nina cardstock. So I was actually really very surprised with that. I'll move this down so you can actually see what I'm doing and not shove it all off of my desk. And finally, I was gifted a wonderful set of um, retractable cutting blades. So these are very, very small blades so that I can get into those really tight areas when I'm coloring with washi tape. It all is also great for coloring, doing hair and that sort of thing. So now that I've got an area colored here, I can show you what I mean. So with these, I can go like this and do those fine little white hairs like that. So that makes that a lot easier as well. I do have a slice tool that I normally use for that, but I have found that the tip of it is getting a little dull, so it's not giving me um, that really fine line for the whiskers and hairs. So these were a wonderful gift from a subscriber and a close friend. And I thank her very much for buying these for me. Um, I hope that they will, and I think that they will help a lot when it comes to working with the washi tape as well as doing hair coloring and stuff like that for fur and all those things that we do little tiny short white hairs for. So that is the haul of things that I have received this week. Um, Again, with the Lifelines Robin Sniff scented pencils, very, very surprised on the ability of them. There's not a lot of information on the pencils themselves of what they're composed of. They are assembled in the USA. I do not know if that means that their core and everything else is made elsewhere, but they are assembled in the USA. They are a set of pencils that is infused with Lifeline's essential oil blends. So basically, all of the coating on each pencil has a blend of Lifeline's essential oils. On the back, it tells you about what oils are there and what smells you're going to smell. It also shows you how to rub the outside of the pencil to get the best aroma, to activate the aroma the best. Really, really pretty set of pencils, and the fact that they work is also a bonus. So, pretty pens, pretty pencils, and a couple of changes to one of our favorite sets of pencils, the Brutfuner squares. Now, the changes are not a deal breaker. I'm just letting you know that if you do purchase the Brutfuner squares in the past year and you have the English names on your pencils, be aware that there are changes in those English pencils that do not match up with the Asian named pencils. So if somebody is coloring with the Asian named pencils and you're following along, you may end up coloring with something that is not the color they're using. And it's because of the changes that they have made. Again, I will, when I post all of my swatch charts on the Patreon shop, because I have been asked to do that, I will be going through and posting all of my swatch charts that have names and numbers and that sort of thing on my Patreon for purchase. This entire set will go together. So I will provide both the English as well as the Chinese versions, the translated as well as the ones that are still written in Chinese. Um, so there will be 3 swatch charts available for the Brutfuner squares so that you have the ability to know exactly what has changed and what hasn't in the 2 different sets. There is a third set out there as well that came out that was in the Asian names with the English translation chart in the box. If you are an individual that has those pencils and the charts are different than the original Asian chart, please let me know. Send me an email with a picture of the chart or whatever you want to do, or even just a little bit of information will be helpful. All right, guys, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye bye for now.